When James Worthy retired before the 1994-95 season, it was fitting that Earvin Magic Johnson was there to describe Worthy's career. Johnson, after all, had made the passes on the fast break that set up hundreds of Worthy's trademark one-handed swooping dunks. James Worthy was one of the top 10, top 5 players in playoff history, Johnson stated at Worthy's retirement news conference. No one argued with that assessment. By the time he had retired, Worthy owned a Most Outstanding Player award for the 82 NCAA Final Four and a Most Valuable Player award from the 88 NBA Finals. He was a member of the 3 NBA championship teams with the Los Angeles Lakers in 85, 87, and 88. Worthy's career postseason averages of 21.1 points, 5.2 rebounds were higher than his regular season averages of 17.6 and 5.1. Worthy recorded his first triple-double and arguably the biggest game of his career. Game 7 of the 88 Finals against the Detroit Pistons, in which Worthy collected 36 points, 16 boards, and 10 assists. He also holds the all-time record for the highest field goal percentage in a 5-game playoff series, 7-21 in the 85 Western Conference Finals against Denver Nuggets. Never was a nickname better suited for a player than Worthy's moniker of Big Game James. By the time he was a 9th grader at Greer Junior High in Gastonia, North Carolina, Worthy's basketball exploits were already making front-page news. Coached at Ashbrook High by a Dean Smith disciple named Larry Rhodes, Worthy attended summer basketball camp at Chapel Hill and early on seemed destined to wear Tar Heel blue. Averaging 21.5 points and 12.5 rebounds as a senior at Ashbrook, Worthy was a unanimous selection as a prep All-American. His stardom at the University of North Carolina seemed assured. Then, midway through his freshman campaign, Worthy slipped on a wet spot on the Carmichael Auditorium floor and broke his ankle. He missed the last 14 games of the season, and for a time it appeared his career might be in doubt. Typically, the unflappable Worthy made the best of an unfortunate situation. I wasn't sure I would be able to come back, Worthy said, with the same type of intensity that I always had. I wasn't traveling with the team, I wasn't going to all the practice, and I wasn't part of the day-to-day routine. It really made me wake up and explore myself to all kinds of people, not confine myself just to basketball. Fully recovered, Worthy became an All-Atlantic Coast Conference forward as a sophomore. He averaged 14.2 points and 8.4 rebounds that season while shooting 500% from the floor. It was his junior year at UNC, however, that would become legendary. In 81-82, Worthy was part of one of the greatest collections of talent in collegiate basketball history, a squad that included Sam Perkins and a freshman named Michael Jordan. The Tar Heels stormed through the regular season, a consensus first-team All-American. Worthy averaged 15.6 points, 6.3 boards, and 2.4 assists while shooting 57% from the floor. He shared Player of the Year honors that year with Virginia's Ralph Sampson. The UNC squad reached the 1982 NCAA championship game as a slight favorite over Georgetown and Patrick Ewing. The contest would set the pattern for the rest of Worthy's storied career. As always, he was at his best in the biggest game, scoring 28 points on 13 of 17 shooting and making a key steal of a Fred Brown pass to seal the North Carolina's victory. Worthy was named Most Outstanding Player at the Final Four, yet his heroics were at least partially overshadowed by Jordan's storied game-winning jumper. Despite his greatness, it was Worthy's fate to be overshadowed by his more celebrated teammates, Jordan in college, Kareem and Magic in the NBA. The Lakers have won the NBA championship in 1982, and they had one of the league's top small forwards in Jamal Wilkes. But astute trading had given Los Angeles the top pick in the draft during the 1979 and 1980 season. The Lakers sent Don Ford an 81st round pick, which became Chad Kinch, to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Butch Lee and the Cavs' first round pick in 1982. When that pick turned out to be the number 1 overall selection, the Lakers claimed Worthy, who had decided to pass up his senior year at North Carolina. Worthy became only the 2nd overall number 1 draft choice the Lakers have had since moving to California in 1960. The first, of course, was Magic in 79. Wilkes was still at the top of his game when Worthy arrived. Wilkes averaged 21 points in 1982, 16 in the league, and played more minutes for the Lakers than everyone except Magic Johnson and Norm Nixon. On most NBA teams, Worthy would have been an immediate star. On the Lakers, he had to serve an apprenticeship. Magic would recall the way that Worthy handled himself that first year showed immediately that he had the brains to go a long way with his physical gifts. Even though he was the number 1 pick in the draft, he made up his own mind that he was going to learn from Wilkes, and he accepted his role. Johnson told the Los Angeles Daily News after Worthy retired, "That told me that he was a team player and a winner too. Most rookies would be complaining and griping, but he never did that." Worthy nevertheless put together a respectable rookie campaign. He played in 77 games before fracturing his left tibia and missing the 83 playoffs. His field goal percentage of .579 topped all other rookies and remains a Lakers club record for rookies. He averaged 13.4 points and 5.2 rebounds and was unanimously selected to the All-Rookie team. The Lakers were swept in the NBA Finals by the Philadelphia 76ers, but Showtime had more appearances to come at the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. Prior to the 83-84 season, the Lakers traded Nixon to the San Diego Clippers for Swin Nader and the draft rights to rookie Byron Scott. Worthy would start 53 games, and the Lakers had the nucleus that would carry them to the NBA titles in 3 of the next 5 years. In the 84 NBA Finals, Los Angeles lost to Boston in a thrilling 7-game series that included 2 overtime games. As he would throughout his career, Worthy increased his production during the playoffs. He averaged 17.7, 2.7 assists in 21 postseason games compared to just 14.5 and 1.7 in the regular season. In 1984-85, LA was the dominant team in the league. Lakers had the second best regular season record, 1 game behind Boston at 62-20. They led all teams except Denver in scoring. The Lakers swept through the playoffs, losing only 3 games through the Western Conference Finals and beat Boston in 6 games for the NBA championship. Worthy had arrived, becoming the 3rd leading scorer at 17.6 a game and 2nd leading rebounder at 6.4 on the Lakers. As always, he shot well, finishing the regular season with a 57% field goal percentage. With Worthy, Scott, and Michael Cooper filling the lanes and the Magic running the show, the Lakers developed one of the most feared fast breaks in the history of the game. Again, Worthy rose to the occasion in the postseason, scoring 21.5 points. He later called it the championship that meant the most to him. It's not just because it was the first NBA championship, but that what he did in the Boston Garden. He told Sports Magazine in 1991, "That was the one I cherished the most. There was a lot of attention to the fact that they'd pretty much dominated us, even though that was back in the 60s. Plus, we had lost to them the year before, so we had a lot of incentive." The NBA championship swung back to the Celtics in 85-86, although Worthy had the best season of his career and made the first of 7 consecutive NBA All-Star games. He upped his scoring average to 20 a game, the first of 4 times that Worthy would go on to average 20 or more in the regular season. He equaled his career best of 58% from the field in the regular season. In the playoffs, Worthy averaged 19.5, the only time in his career when his scoring average did not increase in the postseason. The next 2 seasons proved to be the peak of not only Worthy's career, but of the Lakers' dominance in the 80s. Los Angeles had the best record in the league both years, winning 65 games and 62 games. They beat Boston in 6 games in the 87 NBA Finals and Detroit Pistons in 7 for the 88 NBA title, becoming the first team in 2 decades to repeat as the champion. Worthy was superb, adding his own take to the position defined by Elgin Baylor and Julius Erving. Besides averaging 19.5 points in those 2 seasons, 22.4 in the playoffs, he became an excellent passer from his forward spot. His assists increased to 3.5 in 87-88, and in the playoffs, he was always Big Game James. The Lakers struggled through the 88 postseason, surviving 7-game series against both Utah Jazz and Dallas Mavericks before facing the Pistons in the NBA Finals. In 24 playoff games, Worthy averaged 21 points, 4.4 assists, and 5.8 boards while shooting 52% from the floor. He capped the year by scoring 36 points, grabbing 16 rebounds, and handing out 10 assists as the Lakers beat Detroit 108-105 at the Forum to win the title. Worthy was named the MVP of the Finals. It's perhaps emblematic of his career that he was not even named to the All-NBA 3rd team that season. That was the last of the Lakers' NBA championships during the Magic, Kareem, and Worthy era. Los Angeles was swept by the Detroit Pistons in the 89 Finals, lost to Phoenix Suns in the 90 Western Conference semifinals, and fell to the Bulls in 5 games in the 1991 NBA Finals. As the team fortunes declined, however, Worthy's role continued to grow. Worthy led the Lakers in minutes played in 1989 with 36.5 and averaged 20.5 points. In 89-90, he had perhaps his finest year statistically, scoring 21 points and pulling down a career-high 6 rebounds. He averaged more than 24 points in the playoffs in both the 89 and 90 season and earned the first of his 2 All-NBA selections on the 3rd team in 1990-91, Worthy averaged 21.4 points, his highest single-season mark, but he shot .492 from the floor, the first time in his career that he had registered a field goal percentage below .500 for a season. Worthy had posted a field goal percentage higher than 53% in each of his first 8 seasons in the league. The Lakers again advanced to the finals in 1991, but after winning the first game, they lost 4 straight, and Jordan's Chicago Bulls captured their first championship in franchise history. Worthy played 3 more seasons before retiring prior to the start of the 94-95 campaign. He took with him 16,000 career points and a truckload of golden moments. Fans and former teammates viewed his departure as marking the end of an era, and always cool Worthy was not oblivious to the feelings. I can remember coming into the league and being under the likes of Kareem, Jamal, Magic, Norm Nixon, and Bob McAdoo, he told the LA Times. Now I find myself in that situation. Guys are telling me how they were in junior high, watching us beat the Celtics in '85. I can't be that old. Worthy will be remembered for his breathtaking athletic skills, the blinding speed, smooth, effortless glides to the hoop, the one-handed tomahawk jams. And he'll also be recalled as the ultimate clutch player. His career postseason field goal percentage of 54% ranks him among the top 10 on the NBA's all-time playoff list. I don't think there's been or will be a better small forward than James, and I don't think people appreciate that, said his coach Pat Riley to the Los Angeles Daily News upon Worthy's retirement. He was always such a quiet guy, but when he was in his prime, I can guarantee you there wasn't anyone that could touch him. Worthy would make the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2003 to end off his glorious career. And if you guys want to check this article out, I'll leave a link in the description below. It's on NBA.com. It's called Legends Profile of James Worthy. And yeah, it's a really good read. I just read you the whole thing, but you can check it out. I hope that this week we do get a Spotlight Challenge, and it is James Worthy. But I just wanted to I like doing these predictions, and, you know, I've posted some cards that I think we'll get in there. I got a few more here at the end of the video that I'll put up that I would hope that we could get with this set, and some that I hope that are the evolution cards that would be fun, people related to his career, and people that obviously played in Los Angeles. Yeah, but anyway, this is the video for today. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We'll do another one of these when the next Spotlight comes out. But, you know, I read in the developers blog that 2K was going to give us background on some of these players, like the legacy players and the Spotlight players. And even though there's games in there, they don't really tell the story of, you know, why they chose this person. Or, like, you know, we keep getting these cards of players in the legacy that, like, dude, like, we don't, like, nobody wants the cards, but, like, we need a background. We need, you know, the cards to be OP for, like, right now. Like, they need to cards that come out, they need to be OP, or, you know, no one's going to want to use them. And if we don't, and we're not going to go research these people on our own. So, you know, I just thought I would throw some background in there. And James Worthy was one of my favorite players, you know, as a kid. And I love his game, and he's always good in 2K as far as, you know, I've only been playing my team for 2 years, but the past 2 years, he's had 2 of the most overpowered cards in the game, the Amethyst, that was a duo with Magic, and the 2K20 Myteam, and obviously last year's Galaxy Opal is probably a top 5 card in the game. So anyway, if you liked the video, hit the like button, leave a comment with who you think is going to be the next Spotlight Challenge. This is Carson Cruz. Peace.
Hollywood, I can only say that it's been the most rewarding, the most exciting experience that I've ever had.
From the Los Angeles Lakers, number 42, James Worthy.
Wow, this is the ultimate.